Yeah, party people, what's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Hakeem bringing channel live and direct. BDP all day, every day. All we do is spark Madism on another episode of Madism TV. It's gonna be fire tonight. This particular episode is, it's a very important episode in terms of, going into the culture, going into the music, going into what distinguishes the culture, hip hop culture, the purity of hip hop culture. We talk about that. Real MCs, real boom bap beats. So listen, our guest today is NEEK the Exotic and the Large Professor. And, Faking the Funk was our introduction to NEEK the Exotic. And, prior to that, Main Source, Large Professor producing Main Source, Large Professor being so instrumental into the career of Nas and some of the other greats and legends, early on. And we're gonna get into all that history. We're gonna get into all that, And then we're gonna take it back a little bit further than that, and explore Queens, in the early days and see what it is. But first and foremost, here over on Madism, we all about promoting that Madism. And I recently dropped a LP, Madism Who Wants to Smoke, featuring KRS-One, General Steele, Sadat, X from Brand Nubian, Dredge from Black Sheep, Tretch, Do It All, Keith Murray, Thurston Howell III, We Them Zoes, Barlow, what up? 2 L's up, 2 L's up. Put your L's in the air. We got the Low Life family, no doubt, representing Barlow. What's up, brother? Thank you for joining us. Spread the word. Let them know what we're doing over here. We got about to have Large Professor and NEEK the Exotic. So we're going to get into all that. And, but in the meantime, in between time, what I'm going to do right now is just throw in a quick Hakeem Green video. I believe Put It in the Air, featuring Carl Thomas. Also off of that Madism Who Wants to Smoke LP. I think it'll be worth you guys checking it out, the entire album, on your favorite streaming platforms, or you can go to the website, www.madism.info. Madism.info. Go over there. You can cop the whole album for $4.20. $4.20. Get it? $4.20. Madism Who Want to Smoke. Represent for your boy. But in the meantime, in between time, we're gonna go ahead and share this video while we invite people to the building. So everybody that's already in the Madism world, please send out an invitation to your favorite friends or folks who you think could benefit from a conversation with the Large Professor and NEEK the Exotic. I'm telling you, it's gonna be off the chain. So all right, we're gonna go ahead with this video and invite people. Stay tuned. Here we go. Peace.
Social distancing and other mitigation measures they've put in place. The president's been itching to begin easing the nationwide guidelines meant to stem the outbreak and contain the economic fallout. Well, the weekly jobless numbers are out, and they are a staggering show of the early impact of the new coronavirus on the economy. Around 3.3 million people filed for unemployment in the past week, far exceeding the previous record from 1982.
This goes out
that I will use my right or the right
all my smoke, my dab,
I believe that I'll choose
my
this fight
papers,
for the right to be free.
set up that
I believe I'll treat tonight like it's 420.
Madism in effect, hip-hop changed the game. Everybody smoke good, my grower changed the strain. I used to smoke for the thrill, now I do it for the pain. I stay pushing weight, I do it for the gains. It's like a revolution, Prince with purple rain. Purple kush, purple haze, like cheese in a maze. So I put lights in the tunnel, LEDs supply the rays. All we do is spark Madism, that shit is all the craze. Remember back in the days, trade bags of haze from the corner bodega. Poppy put it in some lays. It was rhymes in a cipher with blunts in the air. Then off with a shorty couch locked in a chair. My shorty look exotic, weed kinda rare. She said the weed was erotic with smoke in the hair. IZM makes the time go by, life without a care. So roll it up, light it up, put it in the air.
I believe believe in happy faces, yes, this is true. Love is just for special people, yes, just like you. If you're reaching for the stars, you know you can do anything you want to if you just get into the groove. I believe that I will use my right for the right to be me. I believe that I'll choose this fight for the right to be free. I believe I'll treat tonight like it's for
I get Reddit and Redman when it's time to Johnny Blaze. I get pounds from Sugar Hill, I get dimes from Sugar Rays. I keep the aromatic, it's a passion, not a habit. Akeem go with green, it's like carrots go with rabbits. It's so automatic how the weed gets lit. Duplicate the seed, clones get clipped. Hawk, what you puffin' on? I know that ain't the piff. Wedding cake and gelato, huh? Wanna lit? I got flavors, pump flavors, they call me Flavor Flav. Gorilla Glue #4 and Super Silver Haze. Afghani in the cough, sour diesel gets me off. I'm looking for a rental property, something like a loft, so I can grow these trees just in time for Christmas. Saint Nick with the gift list. I know you wanna hit this. Look for madism when it's time to light a flare, then roll it up, light it up, put it in the air.
I believe in happy faces, yes, this is true. Love is just for special people, yes, just like you. If you're reaching for the stars, you know you can do anything you want to if you just get into the groove. I believe that I will use my right for the right to be me. I believe that I'll choose this fight for the right to be free. I believe I'll treat tonight like it's 420, like it's 420. Yes, this is true.
What really stands out to many are the one-time direct payments from the government. The Trump administration says they hope to start rolling them out in 3 weeks. The payments are based on your latest tax filing. Individuals who earn $75,000 or less will get $1,200.
Yeah, we back in the building. You see what it was, what it is. That's I Believe, Put It in the Air by Hakeem Green featuring Carl Thomas. That's out on the Madism Who Want This Smoke LP. Go cop that, go cop that. But we got our guest in the building. So with no further ado, we got the homie NEEK the Exotic in the building.
Yeah.
And we got, wait a minute, there we go. We got the legendary Extra P, Extra Large Pro, the Large Professor.
Yes, sir.
In the building. Salute, gentlemen. Salute.
Salute, baby.
Yeah, bro. Bro, man, when you reached out and you told me what it was like, okay, I got to make this happen because, just let you guys know, both of you gentlemen, very influential and impactful on Channel Live. Before we were Channel Live, we were still trying to, come up in the rap game and make our mark. And we was doing our demos driving up to New Haven. And there was a couple of tapes that was like just on repeat. And that Breaking Adams Main Source joint was one of them. And when Faking the Funk dropped, that was like, bro, like that was like a head crusher right there. So, a lot of the subject matter that you guys came with, we was kind of drawn off of it, as we were, got discovered by Chris and we were doing our project, doing our album and, what should we be talking about, content, whatever. And, that Breaking Adams joint was definitely like, man, we got to come like that. We got to keep it real. We can't be faking the funk. We can't be faking the funk. You know what I mean? So, with that said, I like to go all the way to the beginning, so people could get a sense of who our guests are, what they're about and kind of see what molded your hip hop perspective. So, starting with NEEK, just talk about, coming up, I guess, the 80s, 70s, 80s, when you first heard hip hop and what made you want to be an MC? What put that battery in your back?
Oh, man, coming up, man, I was influenced by, like, when I first heard, like, Kumo D, it was, like, amazing to me, man. He's one of the MCs that I follow and very closely coming up. He definitely inspired me in a lot of ways. You know, early on. Yeah, Kumo D was about. He that was it. He was it for me. You know what I'm saying?
Now you from Queens as well, right?
Yeah, from Queens, definitely.
You ain't had no issues with the Kumo DLL, little.
Nah, listen. Man, only issue I had is when Kumo D did that Wild Wild West shit. Other than that, man, listen, man, it is what it is. They both had a dope battle. You know, like I said, you know, I was influenced by Kumo D before LL. You know, of course, when LL, you know, came out, and when I got involved in listening to him, he was another great influence, and he just happened to be from Queens, so it made it that much better. But Kumo D was the guy that, you know, that really stuck to me. You know, his lyricism, his wordplay, you know, his cockiness, you know, all that shit combined, man. He's a great MC.
Wow. Now, did you catch the that battle on tape, that cassette tape going around with Kumo D and Busy B battle? Did you catch that earlier?
Man, listen, what? We was on that. That we was on that crazy.
Wow.
That's historic. That's historic. You know what I'm saying? You don't get it like that no more. You know that.
Not at all. Pete, what about you? What inspired you to, I don't know if it was rhyme first or produce first, or what was it that put that batter in your back? It was like, I got to do something in this hip hop culture thing.
It was the same with me. It was, we came up together in the same hood. So Mo D, definitely, later on, Rakim. Even the earlier park jams like Cold Crush, hearing all of that, we heard all of that. Mikey D and all of them dudes in Jamaica, Grandmaster Vic and them, all of them dudes from out in Jamaica. So, we was part of the original coming up of hip hop, and but Mo D was the dude that was, because he used that vocabulary so good, man, and dudes was coming up, trying to get their knowledge on. So, Mo D one for us too, definitely.
Yeah. Now, I'm working on this project right now with another Queens legend, Ron Lawrence, half of the, Two Kings in the Cypher, him and D Dot, one of the hitmen. And, Ron Lawrence is also a film producer. He did a documentary called The Founding Fathers. And, he and I have for years have been, I'm associated with KRS-One.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm from Jersey. I'm from Jersey, though. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm from Jersey, but
is they trying to say like Brooklyn had a lot to do with Queens.
Listen, it get weird with me and Ron on the phone because Ron is a very strong, he got strong opinions, and he got a lot of pride for Queens. Don't say nothing bad about Queens around Ron Lawrence.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
But now, I caught a interview with UP. I'm not even gonna say the host name because whatever. But you had the perspective was about, it was talking about Nas, but you made a point about an original sound, like Nas had on the second album, kind of had, but there was an original sound that was important for you to replicate. Okay, this is where I'm going with this. Grand Mixer DXT says his contention that hip hop culture doesn't start with DJs per se, doesn't start with park jams, it doesn't start with rappers. Said it starts to dancing to breakbeats in a culture that grew out of the breakbeat, right? And then what you do to the breakbeat or the sample to manipulate and create a different feel from it. And then the dancers, of course, dancing to the break beat and then, what have you. So when I heard you talk about that original sound as it has to do with break beats and samples, can you talk about that theory, whether it's true or not, and then, your perspective on that?
Well, definitely, it all started with the Get Down part of the record. Like you see you at a party and they'd be like, oh, here come my part. This my part right here, and it be that certain part of the record. So I understand what DST is talking about, like earlier than that. but it was definitely hip hop that elongated that. You know what I'm saying? It took that part of the record and just kept playing it back so that breakers could break and, you know, and things like that. Yo, that, you know, just all natural, man. How it, you know, everything happened all naturally and organically, man. So, you know, we were there for all of that, man. Definitely.
Right. So, like, you know, for both of you, what's some of the early MCs, early crews, early producers, unsung heroes that we not gonna know, but that influenced you and influenced, you know, what we know of as Queens, that Queen sound? Who are those people?
Would it be King and them from down there in the Bland with Drez and them? Because Drez around Drez is way.
I might say Drez. I don't know why you playing them other people, but definitely Drez.
Now we used to have Paul Jams.
Drez from Black Sheep.
Absolutely. You know, he come from down the block in the Bland, so they used to have Park Jams in the Bland. We used to also have Park Jams down Colden too. So it was like little local MCs. Nah, I wouldn't say little, but you know, it was like dudes that was, you know, part of the culture doing their thing. And, you know, they ain't necessarily make no records or nothing like that, but they was definitely like dudes we saw that was kind of, you know, fitting in the, what was going on, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, and they may have bowed out, you know, earlier than they should have, but, you know, we seen dudes, you know, down the Bland, down Colden Street, they call it Wastelands. You know, we definitely seen dudes.
Yeah. NEEK?
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same about that. You know, it was a lot of cats that, you know, didn't make records or decided to go another route, but they were definitely influences on us. You know what I mean? I remember I used to go to a lot of park jams in Queensbridge too. You know, and they used to have the basketball games at night. And we used to go out there, man, and the MCs be on this, you know, getting busy, and you're like, damn, who these cats? These cats is nice. You know what I mean? So it's always local cats that was dope. That just never, you know, either they decided they didn't want to get into that or they want another route or whatever the case. But they was definitely influenced on us before the, you know, what you could say is the stars, you know, the guys that were making the records that we heard on records and didn't know personally at that time.
Yeah, I had started a room on Clubhouse a few weeks ago to discuss, you know, I called it KRS-One versus Kane, but it wasn't really a versus. It was more like a celebration of those two MCs. We didn't even get into like no battle discussion, nothing like that. Right? But then, you know, my good brother Dante Ross hopped in the conversation and he started talking about judging MCs by record sales. And I was like, wait a minute. I don't judge Brand Nubian's first album by record sales. The impact of that project isn't to be judged by record sales, right?
You had to be there, though. You had to be there. You had to be uptown with every car that passed by you playing that joint. Like, just
talk about that, please.
You know, it was a different thing. Yeah, it was different things happening, man. The clubs, man.
It wasn't about no sales. It was about dope ass music.
Yeah, Wetlands. You go to every club, they playing that shit. Yeah, that was, you know, it's just like how mixtapes start coming out. You know, it wasn't about record sales, but mixtapes start blowing up crazy. You know, dudes was doing their numbers off mixtapes. So it was just, you know, it was another change of the game, you know, but that, ultimately everybody try to bring it to record sales, but there's different dynamics to it, definitely.
Yeah, you know, again, talk about like those older MCs that, like, say, influenced me from New Jersey, Stardust 3, my man Mike C, you know, and, you know, all the legendary cast that had influences on Tretch and, you know, Red Man, and there was so much going on. You talk about the clubs, it was like Club Sensation, but then like I was going to the Fun House when I was 15, going over to the city. When you talk about the culture, we wasn't thinking about no record sales. We was thinking about what was going to move people in the party.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, you know, in terms of the effect on the sound of it, right? Because, you know, just talking about New York. And again, you know, people, oh, you be riding for New York. I'm from Jersey, first and foremost, from New Jersey, right? And anybody know that Jersey and Staten Island get it worse than everybody else. when they come to Jersey and Staten Island, it's like we just like, oh, them niggas.
With the shout out, because it seemed like it always end with like the Bronx or something. Be like, it's Brooklyn, is it, Queens, we got it too though. Because a lot of times it just Brooklyn, Uptown, and the Bronx, and that'd be it. You know what I mean? It'd be like Manhattan, then it cut off, but Staten Island, Jersey, definitely. We all, we got that.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that right there, because it's like we talked about like the Bronx and Queens with Ron, and like where did hip hop start? And it's like the hip hop didn't start in the Bronx; it was kind of all over everywhere, right? But then like Brooklyn, Queens always had tension. Brooklyn, Uptown always had tension. Like people outside of New York don't understand how divided New York actually is. They think that we just be hating on the South, or we just be hating on the West. Not even we, but New York should be hating on the West. Like, no, people in the boroughs catch it.
Our place where that was prevalent was in USA roller skating rink, because that was over there. And then like the Brooklyn dudes used to come over there. It was in Queens. I don't know. I don't really know what part of Queens that would be considered, but it was USA roller skating rink, and it was always bound
Jackson Heights.
Yeah, Jackson Heights, no doubt. So it was always bound to be some kind of like problem with the Brooklyn dudes and the in the Hearst, like where Rod's from, and it's just always crazy like that, man. And I guess when dudes start making records, that's kind of pacified everything. Dudes like, yo, let's all get along because we all get money now. But it was there though, man. It was a problem. And you said, yo, it's always them Brooklyn dudes, man. It's always Brooklyn against this one, bro. Yeah, that type shit. We had that too, man. USA roller skating rink, definitely.
Right. But aside from that, the one thing I know about where we come from is that when you dope, people give it up. They might give it to you backstage on the low, because everybody's an MC, so niggas is on the stage like ice grilling you like this. But then when you come off the stage, the same people ice grilling you is like, yo, you killed that shit, son. Yo, you nice, son. Yo, you right. You get the love, you feel the love, and because the culture is so important that when we hear it and we see it, we know it. So whether it's popping or not, if it moves us, we know what it is. So like that's just like how I've always taken it. And then like in 1980, was it 87, 88, when I heard Looking at the Front Door, I was at Wagner College in Staten Island. And Video Music Box was like, that's what everybody did. And that joint right there, because in the midst of everything else that was going on, you had a lot of flashiness going on in hip hop. It was a lot of flashiness, a lot of like shine, doing it big. You was just like a regular, the group, the three of you guys were just like a regular, I could touch you. You was talking to me. You was trying to raise my consciousness. You was talking to people in the street, but going, we can be much more than this. And I think that was just a groundbreaking project. Can you talk about what inspired that project to be that way, and what were some of your influences, and what were you trying to get across messaging wise with Breaking Atoms?
Now, well, you had dudes like Tribe that came out before us. De La Soul came out. You know what I mean? So it was starting to get into that mode where it was like dudes was like on some kind of artistry shit. More than I mean, you had that layer of dudes that they had the leathers, they had the gold, they had but dudes now was just like, yo, we got the drum machine, we got the mic, we got some songwriting going on. And with De La Soul, me, myself, and I, like just the song content started becoming more like songwriting. It wasn't, because hip hop, we know, was just, yo, I'm the nigga, I'm the shit, blah, blah, blah. That type of shit was just like starting to become more songwriting. So we was just following suit, man. And I really like that part of it, like the songwriting part of it, because it, you could just go somewhere else with it and just come up with an ill tune. And that song took us like, man, way further than we expected, man. Way further.
Wow, yeah. That song just touched me. And then when I got the album later on that year, I remember, I don't know if I had it before I went home for break, or what have you. But like that ran that whole summer for me. I was just, I was studying
game of
studying
baseball, all of that.
Oh Lord.
And things like that. Yeah. So
and then like, when you mentioned like the groups prior, the Public Enemies, the the BDPs, of course, the X Clans, whatever. There was like this real strong conscious vibe.
Right.
But you wasn't really militant. You wasn't extra Afrocentric like that. You were just a regular dude.
Yeah.
That was like, it was again just another add-on to the consciousness that was going on at the time. But from like, okay, like what was the streets like prior to that era right there? NEEK. What was going on at like, 85, 86, really prior to like the lead up to the Public Enemies, the KRS-One, like all that. What was happening in Queens at the time, 85, 86?
Shit. At that time, 85, 86, yeah, it definitely wasn't none of that conscious, nothing like that at that point. At that time, it was basically just go at him, just rip a nigga head off. It was just, like almost you could say battle rap, you know what I'm saying? Or it's about me shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm the best, I'm the shit, I'm trying to say like that's what it was, you know what I mean?
But outside of the rap shit, outside of the rap game, like what was people into? Fashion, clothing, like
dudes had just stopped popping and breaking and stuff like it was like the end of that. And then now it's starting to be like hustling, coming into play.
It was hustling into play. At that time, everybody was hustling, man. You know what I mean? It was everybody was in the streets. You know what I mean? And everybody was grinding, man. At that time, word.
Yeah.
So that's what was going on, in the streets at that time.
And the reason why I asked that question is because again, the messaging that you guys came with in 92, 93, right? It was informed by something, right? And it's like hip hop is like, we create something out of nothing. So we look at 85, 86, what the fuck was going on 85, 86? I think it's Get Money, crack hit 83, 84, 85. It's like, we about getting money over here and showing our money, blinging. Look, I'm shining. Look. But then something happened that made niggas switch. And it was like, that. What the fuck was it?
It was jail. It was get shot. Dudes get
niggas going through it. And some of the real ones, just thinking more. You know what I'm saying? And putting that energy into something else positive, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. Sometimes, especially all them dudes that they call it bitters. You know what I mean? You're tired of spending your whole life in penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? One day, you know what I'm saying? So for those cats, you know what I'm saying? It was that same way too.
Yeah. Did you guys catch the documentary on Yusef Hawkins?
Nah, I didn't.
I didn't catch it.
It's called The Dark Cloud Over Brooklyn. Right. So Yusef
Hawkins. I'm just saying I ain't watched it though, but I know the story though. You know the story.
Yeah, right. You know the story. So it's like what I caught from it was like when you see Yusef Hawkins, when you just see him, you never hear him speak. You just see this image, and the images that we had of him.
Right.
He had the box cut.
Yeah.
He had the Gumby fade, whatever. Right. And he had the African medallion, always, right? So you could see where Yusef was, right? And then you see like a soundtrack that's happening in the street around it. The PEs, the X Clans, like the messaging is changing. We're becoming more aware. There are other things that are happening around the Central Park 5, Tawana Brawley, whatever. And then there was a soundtrack for something else that was happening in the street that was different than 85, 86. So even when you get to the MCs, you get to the Rakims, right? You get to just everybody had to have something to say.
Right.
You couldn't just be talking about the same old shit. But when I get to the main source, you know what I mean? Like I'm in college, I'm 18, 19 years old. My head is on a certain way and I need a soundtrack. So when I'm walking around doing my shit, motherfuckers is saying the shit I want to hear. And I'm not the only motherfucker in the world that thinks like I think, and we're not being created for. So even when I hear the last, I guess, I don't know if it was the last project, but I told you, NEEK, I listened to the stuff you recently put out. And I'm like, is feeding my soul. It's like, yeah, this is it. Like, I'm not the only motherfucker out here that think like this. Niggas ain't creating for me. Why? What is it? What needs to happen when motherfuckers get on code and we know what it is? That's what I'm trying to really get out of this discussion, because, you know, both y'all, but large, your imprint on this shit, even when we talk about it, Nas, right? Nas is street, but Nas is different street.
Nas well, he came up under a regime. You know, he got to see dudes that was actually in the game, like both feet. You know, Marley Marl. You know, he got to see these dudes in his backyard. So the intensity was different for him. Like, we kind of like the first dudes from up around our way that's kind of putting our feet down. Like, yo, all right, cool. This is where we come from, and this is what we rep. You know, it's all the same. It's all the same, but you know, Queensbridge was a whole different, you know, that was a whole different beast right there for him to come from.
Talk about the bridge, MC Shan's The Bridge, and the impact of that with that myth, everybody. Because that's a very important, very, very important record right there.
Represented the whole, like, the whole Queens put that on their back after that. It was like, yo, everybody, and, you know, it was just crazy, you know, because it was some fly shit. You know, he was shining, they were shining, you know, musically. They were styling musically. And, yo, there wasn't nothing better than that at that time, man. Marley Scratch, The Bridge, the sounds, the rhymes. That shit was the ultimate right there.
Yeah, that beat on the bridge.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, we used to freestyle to that shit like that crazy. When Marley used to play that on BLS, I caught that shit on the tape one time, man. We just freestyled to that shit for days and days, right to
Marley Scratch was crazy. Yeah. You know, them beats was crazy.
Yeah.
That time was crazy.
Nah, but in Shan, like, just the bridge, you know, he's spitting that braggadocious shit, you know, this is who I am, you know, feel me. But then that third verse.
Still kicking like, yo, if you reach for your goal, because I'm reaching for mine.
That's
you know, that was like
still dropping jewels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Still like, bringing positive feedback in the whole joint. You know what I mean?
Like, there's a skill, it's a really powerful skill to be able to touch people where they at, and then at the same time bring them to a different place. And that song for me, again, one of them joints that just did that. Touch you where you at.
All of us.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Wow. All right, so P, when you pick up the drum machine, start banging them beats out? When that happened?
That was early, man. I mean, actually, we had also my man Shallow. You know, that's my man. He did the first Onyx album, Shy Skills. And so we was all together, and it would just come about, man. Like a machine would come about. We started off the regular way with the tape decks, making pause tapes and things like that. And then once the machines came about, yo, it was just, and we, for some reason, like with everything, man, with breaking, popping, like NEEK used to get busy. We was down at the boys club.
I used to be breakdancing on that shit.
All that shit.
That's what I'm talking about. The culture.
And we was nice at it though, like exceptional. Going and battling, all of that type of shit.
We used to go battle and all that shit. It was real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got a part of Flushing called the Regency. We had a lot of battles with a lot of cats, a lot of our homies down there. My man Rob Man and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy.
Pause. All right. So again, cultural context is every fucking thing, B. Right? And when we talk about fucking hip hop culture, we're not just talking about rapping.
Not just rapping. No.
Just rapping. I got a hashtag, hip hop nobody rapping. Right? So I need you to go further in depth about breakdancing. I need you to go further. We talking about Queens, 1980, 80, 81, 82. When we talking about?
Man, all of that, 82, 83.
Yeah, we used to fucking go to the Lost Battalion.
Yeah.
And all that shit, man.
By Left
Rack, and everybody was in there breakdancing, man.
Yeah.
You know, all of those breakdancing crews used to go to the Lost Battalion, man, and get busy. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, man.
The Boys Club, all that shit, man.
Shy Skills even used to break. They used to break that.
He was the king. You know so when the drum machines came about, like we was already, you know, like, I don't know, just top tier with everything we was doing. Like, so it was like all right, breaking is played out now, popping is played out. Now we doing music. And once the machines came into play, we kept that same kind of air to us, like, yo, nah, that shit don't sound like Marley, man. It gotta be like Marley or better, or you know what I'm saying, this one or better. Like if it don't sound like that, we ain't even talking right now. So we had some bars that we was, that was set, that we was working with, and we just kept it moving like that, man. Kept that.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to kill your energy right there, but since y'all together in the screen, I want to be able to show as much as you as possible. So when y'all going deep, I'm gonna start putting y'all solo screen to get me out of it, so the people can feel y'all. You know what I mean? No doubt. And since we right there, let me give a shout out to Sean, Les, Keith Jackson, Imperial Bronzeman, Tasha, what's going on? Todd, DJ Wishbone Watson from Queens is in the building representing. Barlow Wilder, 2 L's up. Lays Elliott, Mash Out Posse, First Family, all the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Folks is in the building right there. No doubt. Yeah, man. So, I just gotta let y'all know, I was at the Red Zone. That classic performance, I was there. I was standing under the DJ booth, Flex and Chuck Chill Out. I didn't even know who any of these niggas was because, other than, again, video, I knew who Chuck was because it's slave to the rhythm, but I didn't know who Flex was. You know nobody. You had to be there to see and feel what it was. You had to be there.
Yeah.
You can Instagram and IG. Nah, nigga.
Yeah.
You had to be there. What's some of the places y'all was at, the classic events that, people might, if you were there, talk about, or you might have heard through the grapevine? What's some of the classic events y'all attended?
Man, shit. I know one of them was what's that spot in the city?
Studio 54.
No.
We was at Bentley's.
The shit that was down the block where I used to live. Home base.
Yeah, home base.
I did home base.
Yeah. Home base was
was y'all there when home base got shot up when Black Sheep and Cypress Hill was supposed to perform?
Yeah, we was there that night.
I was there.
We came with Cypress Hills that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we came because Muggs lived out here in Flushing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was staying out here in Flushing in Queens, right with us. You know what I'm saying?
And even prior to that, we was going to a spot called the International Uptown or Lennox and shit like that.
Yeah,
I was going up to Uptown Garage, all that shit.
Man. You know what I mean? Yeah, we was some young Queens niggas up there. Man. I used to go with my cousin Self, my man Will. You know what I'm saying? We used to ride uptown every Friday, every weekend. We in Harlem.
Word up.
Straight up. You know what I mean? So it was crazy.
All right, so I know y'all did 54 because you just mentioned it.
Yeah.
I was up in there heavy, the Palladiums, the Roselands, and so you talk about like the growth of the culture going from
the tunnel,
of course, but the tunnel again that was later. That was later. That's the 90s. That's like this, the 80s. We kind of because the generations are getting younger, right?
Yeah,
we getting farther away from the source, the root of it all. So, I really, especially with folks like yourself, I want to give people access to the root of it. So that's why I'm spending so much time in the 80s and just what was going on, and the break dancing to the clubs. Like people got to feel.
Uptown was the spot, man. They used to. I'm telling you, we was some young niggas getting into them spots up there because most of the spots uptown were like lounges or bars and you know what I'm saying, shit like that. So we used to go up there, man, and get into them shits. So every week we was in them shits.
Even partying, the weed spots, even Branson and all that.
Oh man, we used to Branson. We used to get all the ill weed from uptown, Three Wise, man, all that shit. Harlem had everything, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front. Harlem and the Bronx was right there across the bridge. So you had the people from the Bronx, coming to Harlem. So it was Bronx, Harlem, and a couple of Queens cats like us in these spots, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the Fever, and we was up in the Fever early too, definitely.
But that's one spot. That's one spot that I didn't go in. I'm saying I couldn't get in the Fever. My cousin Boo, shout out to Big Boo, he used to go to the Fever all the time. You know what I'm saying? Him and a bunch of Brooklyn cats and shit. You know what I mean? But I definitely was in Bentley's.
Yeah,
crazy.
Bentley's.
You know what I mean? the Cheetah Club, you know, shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now,
So, but
when you say the fever,
Yeah.
that's like early.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
early.
yeah.
I mean, but
Like
now,
how old were you? Because you said you needed your.
nah. I'm talking about later on with Nas, when Nas and
I got you.
Like when they had that second, it wasn't the first fever, it was the second run. I mean, but we used to go to these places and hang out in front. Like we couldn't get in, but we
definitely couldn't get there. Yeah. Couldn't get into the fever and couldn't get into the Red Parrot. You know what I'm saying? Well, my older cousin used to always go to those spots. You know what I'm saying? So I knew about all of those spots. But Bentley's, I was definitely in Bentley's, and Bentley's was nice.
Yeah, and Roxy, and the Roxy. Whoa, the Roxy too. Yeah.
And we say the Roxy for folks out there, it's the from B Street, the big downtown club. They went to the big, you know, they had the cipher with the breakdance, the crazy legs. That's the Roxy.
Yeah.
A very important place in hip hop culture, ladies and gentlemen.
And then Queens, you know, back in the days, you know, they had the ill couple of spots in Queens and Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? That niggas used to go to the Trafalgar Squares and what's that? The Q Club.
Yeah, the Q Club.
And they had the joint right on something under the little bridge right there. I forget. They had the Amazing Duet and all of the DJs like that DJing in there and shit like that. So it was crazy, man. Yeah, we definitely had some spots out in Queens too.
Especially USA.
USA roller skate ring was there. Because you had Brooklyn, Queens, you know, all in the spot, fighting every weekend. Niggas didn't chase the train and all kind of shit. You see all kind of shit in USA. You know what I'm saying? But they used to have the MC contest. So I used to battle. I used to be in the MC contest every week. You know what I'm saying? In USA roller skating ring, man, it was dope, man. That was a dope hip hop vibe, man. Yeah, 74 Roosevelt Avenue, Queens, man.
Yeah, wow.
Man. So again, we talk about two brothers that was raised in the culture. Yeah, they MCs, yeah, they're producers, but the culture was more than just rapping, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
understand. But I'm actually surprised because there's one club that y'all didn't name, and I was waiting for y'all to name it.
What's that?
Powerhouse.
Oh yeah, the Powerhouse, definitely. Now we're saying that all throughout breaking downs.
Yeah, right.
If you want to keep it all the way like Roseland, all that shit, like all this shit will start coming back to mind. Like,
and Latin Quarters,
of course.
Can't forget L2.
Well, the reason why I said Powerhouse, because what song is it on Breaking Adams where y'all shout Powerhouse out like 50 times?
I believe I seen KRS-One rock at the Latin Quarters.
No can get that high ass stage. Yeah, hell yeah.
Word, that was legendary shit.
Yeah. Like I went to Funhouse Christmas 1984. So Dougie, I saw Dougie and Slick Rick do Lottie Dottie for the first time. She was crazy. Yeah, I got snuck over. I wasn't trying, I wasn't supposed to be out. I'm from East Orange. My cousins lived in Inglewood, so I used to go to Inglewood, take the bus over. They sneak me over. I'm 14, 15 in this club, and it blew my mind. So, once I got like 17, 18, I could start moving around more freely. I tried to go back to the Funhouse, but it was the Heartthrob.
Okay.
So I was a regular there, and then that shut down, and I started going to 54. And I used to pass the quarter on the way to 54, right before the quarter shut down.
Yeah.
I ain't want none. Different. 54 different in the quarter.
54 is that shit where the shit went down with KRS-One and homie from the group.
No, that was a Sound Factory.
Oh, it was Sound Factory.
That was the Sound Factory. Yeah, I wasn't there, but that was definitely the Sound Factory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was another one of those ill ass stories, ill ass hip hop fucking legends and shit.
Yeah.
But again, it's blowing my mind that you guys were like into the breakdance. I mean, I suspected it, but to hear it is something totally different because again, you get to follow the culture all the way up and see the people who are influential in it, what they were doing when they were 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, when the culture was still new.
Wild Style, you know what I'm saying? When Wild Style came out, we went to the movies to go see that, all of that type of shit. Yeah.
That's what I said. That's my favorite hip hop movie to this day.
Wild Style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about Wild Style then. What was it about Wild Style? Was it just that it was the new shit at that time, or was it, was it deeper than that?
The realness of it, man. It was like you see that shit. That shit was like in the streets of the Bronx. That shit was just straight real shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like cause we used to go to the Bronx.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We used to hang in the Bronx too. You know what I'm saying? So seeing it is like crazy, and then the MCing and the way they was the DJs and the MCing, it was just the whole thing was just bananas, man.
Yeah, and now it's on the movie screen. It's like the shit that we seeing every day, but now it's on the movie screen and kind of like there's a plot to it and put together. It was like, man, this is out, yo.
And then you had the real MCs and you know what I'm saying? So it made
Cold
it even.
Crush, all that shit.
You had the real MCs that would get busy, and the real DJs getting busy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that's how it was. You know what I mean? You see how they was doing their parties and the settings that they were doing their parties. That's really how it was.
Yeah, man. That Dixie Club and all that.
So it was like it was just real, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't seem like it was no movie.
No stage, it was like the real places and all that. Yeah, definitely.
So, Pete, when you're creating, now as an MC, I already get, NEEK. We know as an MC, we're using the environment around us to kind of influence, right? But P, as a producer, is it the same? Do you approach production listening to the environment around you when you go into it?
No, I mean, well, I came up with the records, so it wasn't like no production, like sitting down in the key. So we, like even earlier in time, like NEEK was like bringing me like, yo, hook this joint up right here, like, yo, this would be fresh if you pause tape this right here and like that type of thing. So we went through all of them channels, and I stayed with that, man. Like I stayed rocking the records, and just chopping the records up. It's like the organic way hip hop was, man. With the records, with the that kind of thing. So that's how I produce, and to this day, that's how we keep it, man. We keep it like with the records, with the DJing, like I'm on IG DJing like almost every day. So we just keep that formula, of what it is. Like nowadays, all right, cool, we can put a keyboard in it and do this, but that's the main source of what I do is like, man, for sure.
That's pause tapes to what was your first machine?
Yeah. Oh man, we wound up because Shy Skills always wound up with a different machine. Like it'd be crazy and shit. Like so we had all of them. Man, I don't know if it's the Casio. Nah, actually it's the Roland. Like it'd be like the Roland, like 606 and 707, and then the 808, and then the DX, and all of them joints. Like we went through all of them and how to double time. Like Marley started flipping the hi-hats like they flipping them today. Like he started tripping. We learned how to do that. So just all that ingenuity, man. We went through all them channels, man. And then when sampling came into play, it kind of brought us back to the beginning, because it was like, oh man, that shit y'all was doing on the turntables, now you can process it and kind of like make it still like, all right, in the drum machine and program it. That was it, man. That was it. We was good bread from there.
It's like you keep hitting that point where like there's a main source to this, right? DJing break beats, bringing the break beat back. Pause tapes, right? Pause tapes, and then using samplers to mimic what the pause tape in the DJ is giving you, gives it a certain swing, a certain head bop, the way the beat chops, the way it starts on the 1 or the or the 5 or 6, whatever what you're doing. Like it's just a way it feels.
That comes from the original. That comes from them original times. That's why we got different. Today we got a different swing to the music, and it's all good. We we love it. It's cool. But when you hear that original hip hop, especially if a dude is doing that shit right, they just know what it is, and that's why I ain't really got no problem with the youth for today, because they even come up like they be like, yo, that's that real hip hop shit right there, and they be like, yeah. yeah, we good for life and shit. They, you know, they show they love for that too, definitely.
I've noticed that people say, "Oh, the young people don't want that. The kids don't want that." You know, when
Oh,
you playing some brand new shit that's boom bap, they be like, "Yo, what the fuck is that shit? It's hot. That shit is
yeah.
hard." Whoa.
If it's done right, if it give them that feeling, like, you know, even on IG, man, I'll be testing on Instagram, man, like little records and things like that, man. The youngest, like, yo, you know, OG, and I'm like, no doubt, that's that original thing right there. And you know, that's why I try to encourage all of us that know from that time, like, yo, it's still there, man. It's still good, and they ready to rock with it, man, for real.
Mm. Now, Neek,
Yes, sir.
like, what inspires you and moves you as an MC? Because, you know, first hearing you on Faking the Funk, and then hearing the newer stuff that I heard, right? That was like you was, ugh! But then I'm hearing other stuff that's smoothed out. Your tone is different. You sound younger. Like you don't sound. I expected you to be a little bit more gruff, a little bit more heavy in your voice, but your voice sounds youthful, bro. So like, where are you drawing this inspiration from?
Man, I guess, man, just everyday life, man. That's the best way I can put it, man. Just my life experiences. Losing my mom's, you know, in 2016. Just changing my way of thinking, my way of viewing things, my approach on things. And then just, you know, everyday life situations, whether it's relationships, whether it's, you know, you know, scraps with your homies, whatever it is, man. Just everyday life, man, and just seeing the world, man. You know, seeing what's out there, seeing what's going on every day. All of that plays a part, and you know, and how I, I guess, spit my lyrics, and you know, how I come off. You know what I mean? It's just life experience, man. That's the best way I can explain it.
Well, let's go deep.
NEEK started off battling. Like NEEK, that's like the original origin of NEEK, like for real, like early in life. Like NEEK was battling like dudes like back to back to back on some crazy shit. And like that's always been the like just cause he just is a soul rapper, like he ain't going to production and everything like that. So all the songwriting and all of that shit, like it's like just that hunger in the competition, the competitive vibe is, I think, too, you know what I'm saying, will keep them like, yo, get up there, man, and, you know, yo, it's going to be some sparks going to come out that mic, man, for real.
You know,
yeah.
I was about to ask NEEK a question, but I would rather you answer it for me, if you don't mind, right? So when we first heard NEEK on Faking the Funk, you know, folks out here in the world, right? And then, you know, for me, I was expecting, you know, the follow up. You know, I was looking for that. Like, I was really like that. I think I met you like a long time ago, NEEK.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had to give it up to you. I had to give it up, right? But so you knowing who he is from day one, knowing how fierce he is as an MC, how talented he is as an MC. Can you give me the best you can the history of NEEK the Exotic from Faking the Funk to now?
Man, you know, it was a combination of like the industry started changing. You know, it was like a lot just started changing in the industry. Like you could have one song and that should be the whole, like it take care of that whole subject matter right there. And then moving forward, yo, dudes start coming through with crews and different things. And then, you know, industry start acting funny and shit. So a dude got to get back to the street, you know what I'm saying? Do what he got to do and shit like that. And so both of us kind of, you know, took like a, you know, everything ain't work out with Main Source with me. You know, everything dudes start going on some street shit. And it was like, but the talent always remained, but it was just like time to get back to real life for a second for both of us, really. And yo, that's what happened, man. It was just like real life started getting, but all along, dudes is doing their work and getting busy. you know, I mean, NEEK could explain to you further and shit, but yo, it was just time to get back to real life and just keep building, you know, on a broader level, not just music no more. Cause a lot of dudes start becoming industrialized, like, yo,
Yeah.
and it was like, yo, yeah, nah, tell him,
Yeah,
bro,
but
tell
you
him.
know, like after Faking the Funk, I like you said, you was like, damn, you was waiting for that follow up. But you know, I was young at that time. Unfortunately, I got caught up. So right after I did Faking the Funk, I went to prison. A lot of people didn't know that. You know what I mean? So when Faking the Funk was out, I was in the mountains. You know what I'm saying? From '92 to Friday the 13th, 1997. You know what I mean? So a lot of people didn't know where I was at. What happened to this kid? What happened to that kid? You know what I mean? And that's basically what happened. I was incarcerated for all of those years.
Okay.
You know what I mean? After we did it. You know
And
what
we
I'm saying?
recorded some songs. We definitely recorded some songs. But like I said, the industry started changing. You know what I mean? It changes rapidly, man. And it'd be like, no, you get all types of different things happening, man. And it's like, oh man, shit, man. Like, and you know, that's how it goes, man. That's how it goes.
Yeah, but now you was locked up from 90, you said
92
92
to
to
97.
90 to 97. You
Yeah.
come out 97, and then, you know, how do you get back on your feet? Like, what's going on in your life to
I get out in 97, man. I come home. You know, at that time, I was fucking with Cheeks and them a lot, you know, with the Lost Boys. You know, those are childhood friends of ours from out south side Jamaica, Queens. And you know, they was actually doing their thing at that time. And you know, they brought me on the road with them. I was the opening act for them. So that got me a chance to get my feet wet, you know, get on the stage, you know, get my performance together, and actually earn a couple of bucks because I'm just coming home. You know what I'm trying to say? So it all worked out well. You know what I mean? So
and then we had that single, that Exotics Roll,
yeah,
that we hooked up, and
yeah,
you know, Angie was honoring that. We was on the Battle of the Beats with that joint. Everything. Flex was rocking it. Everything was happening.
Yeah,
you know?
Cheeks went up to Hot 97.
Yeah.
And Cheeks, you know, spoke to Angie Martinez, and at that time they was somebody else to battle Jay-Z. It was actually against Jay-Z. Streets is Watching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she put the record on. He gave her the record, and she was like, "Listen, I'm gonna play the record at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, whatever time it was." She was like, "So go tell your people to tune in."
Yeah.
And she played it. You know what I'm trying to say? So you know that's how I was starting to get my feet wet. You know what I mean? I started putting singles, and
we was winning. We was winning too, man. We was winning.
That was 97, 98.
Yeah.
So you came home and you was kind of hit the ground running. You was bouncing.
Yeah, I hit the ground running. I was on the road with them a lot. I was down south a lot. You know, they were doing a lot of shows, you know, at a lot of colleges and stuff like that. And you know, I was opening up for all of them shits, man. You know what I mean? North Carolina, South Carolina, you know, Maryland, wherever.
But then like we saying, like the industry keep changing. So then when that happened, at that time, it wasn't about going to no label and getting no deal. Like, it was like, yo, press your own up now. Press your own shit up. So that's what we was doing. We started pressing our own joints up and start moving our own units. And, you know, we had our success the way we did.
Nice. So, like, that run, you know, 97, 98, 99, like, early 2000s was going on. Like, because I know, again, when you say the industry changes, and things happen quick, I know it. Lord, I know it.
Real.
95, 96, it was all good. 97, 98, not so
crazy.
much. not so much. And you know, for me, it was like you know, I got really depressed and got dejected and didn't know my place. And although I was doing a bunch of stuff behind the scenes, not being an artist was affecting me negatively. And it was really just about me getting my head right and embracing the art. And then once I embraced the art again, way later, like 2008, 2009, I start to feel whole again and still have to climb back up and do what I had to do. But it's just a different feeling when you're being who you're supposed to be, as opposed to who other people are telling you to be. So I don't know if either one of you ever lost that spirit of like, the culture and doing it for the culture because you're so caught up in the business
industry. Yeah.
I always listen. Don't get me wrong. We all gotta feed our family and stuff like that. But I always do it for the culture. I love it. It's just a part of me. I'm trying to say since I was a kid. So whether I was doing it professionally or not, I still be doing it. You know what I mean? So I just love it. It's just me. It's a part of me. So that's just it was born with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's a gift God gave me, and that's it. You know what I mean? So I love it regardless if it was monetary gain or not. Just the fun of it, just the competition of it, just all of that shit.
Styling, man. Styling.
I just love it, man.
See, that's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful because it was a long time. You get older, you get on the other side of 40. You get closer to 40, other side of 40. You got get serious about life, and doing other things behind the scenes. And, it's all right, make a little money here and there. Had some big successes, but it's nothing like doing what you're supposed to do. And P, you talked about the ups and the downs. On those down times, how do you stay?
See,
energized, that battery in your back.
It was different because I had them different factors, like factions. It was like, all right, cool. If the rhymes ain't going well, now I can make beats and play the production role. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, all right, I could do some producing for some people, and then when NEEK came back, it was like, all right, cool, my partner's back now. We could get some rhymes going, things like that. So, I just learned to master that throughout the years. Like, all right, cool. And just, especially with us, like, I forgot, I was telling NEEK, I forgot what club it was that I would always see you. I don't know if it was Table 50. It was one of them joints that we always, every week, we'd be there. But that was a big part of it too, just staying out there in them clubs and just seeing what's good and going on, man. That's a big part of it, man. Like, and the industry could douse that with people, man. Like, you get in your own corner, and then it just be like, nah, I ain't going out. But when you go out and you see these people got love and respect for you, man. That's a big lifeline to this shit, man. It's like, you can't like go into you gotta stay going out there and seeing the people, and because that shit is like, now we got social media, so you getting your flowers daily, like people like, yo, that song, this, that. But at that time, man, it was just like, yo, you gotta go out, man. You gotta go out. You can't stay in the crib. You can't, and get like, so that was a big thing too, man. Going to these different clubs and shit like that. Like we started off doing, the industry messed that shit up, man. You feel like, damn, nah, I ain't, but that's a big part of it. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. We talk about hip hop, the culture, and we look at the state of music today, what they call hip hop, there's a lot of good stuff out there, right? And there's a lot of not so good stuff out there. But like, when you look at like NEEK battle rap, like that's a huge chamber in hip hop culture that's holding it down for the culture and doing numbers. Now, you coming out of the battle rap game. I mean, how do you see that battle rap chamber today? Do you know of any battle rappers? You feeling anybody?
I listened to a couple of cats. I'm not really, a lot of them, a lot of them say a lot of it's a lot of the same shit. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, it'd be a lot of the same shit sometimes. But it's a couple of cats that I listen to. I forget the cat name. It's one cat from Queens. Light skinned cat, man. He's funny as hell too, man. He's from Hollow the Dawn.
Hollow the Dawn, yeah.
Hollow the Dawn, you know what I mean? Yeah. I like him.
Cortez.
I fuck with him, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All them dudes.
So yeah. It's
but the thing with me with that shit is that it started turning out to be like spoken poetry. It wasn't to no beats no more. And that a big thing was like, hold up, nah, dudes got, you rhyming to a beat. And, that's why they say like a lot of the dudes, they can't make a record, but they could, you know, like it's a saying that they be saying like, yo, but he can't make a record, but he can't battle, that type of shit. But that was the thing about the new version of battle rap that I was like, all right, man, it's like spoken word now. I loved it. It was slicker than ever now. They slickest shit on earth now, but it was like it wasn't to a beat. So you couldn't like get the rhythm of it and party while, you know what I mean? Like, when Mo D was cutting Busy B down, he doing that shit.
It's on beat. It's on beat. He's back there with the singers keeping that shit on beat. Yeah. You know, it's definitely poetry. I like the theatrics that they include in it. Like they make it more theatrical. It's showmanship. You know, you got a lot. You know, you got some conscious folks out there. What's my man? Something Dot. What's his name? Dot. All he does is conscious bars. He battled the white boy who tried to say some slick shit.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The same dude did a this shit was fly shit. I'm gonna try to find it and send it to you. But they did some shit like at the crack of dawn. It was them. Maybe like 30 people dressed in white, and they freestyling, off the head, spitting like respect the queen. To the white, you know what I'm saying? And then
I seen that one.
The king married. You know what I'm saying? They got married right there. Like they took a cipher, a rap cipher, and had a wedding at a rap cipher, freestyling off the head. That shit was crazy.
Tone them up.
That's bananas.
You know, again, like we used to look at hip hop, the effect of it, culture wise. There's so many things happening.
Factions.
Paying attention to. We keep paying attention to the radio, which is the least hip hop thing going right now.
Right. I don't even pay attention to that shit.
So listen to Fake the Funk. You know, Faking the Funk like for the last 48 hours, just get it in. It's like, damn, this shit could have been made today.
Timeless, man.
Yeah, a lot of this shit still going on. You know that.
Yeah. Friendly game of baseball. You know what I'm saying? Dante.
Friendly game of baseball. Talk about that right there, bro.
Nah, it was just like, you know, I mean, police brutality. You know what I'm saying? That shit has been going on, and the brothers out in the West Coast was talking about that a lot. And, you know, East Coast version of that, like, you know, we dealing with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding out here, and just how you could flip something and, you know, all types of metaphors. That's all that was, man. You know what I'm saying? Just like on a metaphoric tip, like, yo, what if we liken police brutality to America's, you know, this is the apple pie sport of America is baseball and shit. Like, yo, damn, that's like, you know, the dugout, you know, all types of shit, man. It's crazy, man. And you know, at that time, it's just that's where I was thinking. That's where we was thinking with it.
All right, so me give you a little brief history of Hakeem Green right fast, so you know where it's at. So I went to school at Wagner, Staten Island, right? From 87, 89, transferred to Montclair State, right? I went to Wagner specifically so I can go to clubs.
Did you have any encounters with any of the early Wu around that time?
Nah, not really. Nah, actually, I was at Wagner College. Park Hill was like right down the hill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but nah, I was in school, you know, like, so, you know, I thought I was gonna be a football player. It was bad for me, but you know, I went to school really because I got the club, that bug, like just going to 54 every week. Like I just like, I was supposed to go to school in Texas. People told me what Texas was about. I was like, all right, ain't no clubs. How am I gonna? Nah, I'm gonna go to school in Staten Island. So I went to school in Staten Island, right? And while there, you know, some of my older brothers was like, look, bro, you need to get onto this. And they handed me the autobiography of Malcolm X. Right now, I came up in the nation early when I was like 3, 4, 5 years old, early, right? But then in between there and there, you know, it's like the 80s was fun time for 20 and 30-year-olds. So my mother, you know, it's like got love, definitely. Switch up, you know what I mean? Shit switch up. So the whole program switched up and we kind of moved away from the knowledge, but it was still in the culture But for me, not so much, right? So 87, 88, I get reintroduced back to it. And then the soundtrack of what was going on at the time was, PE was giving us all that shit was happening, right? But then you get the Yusef Hawkins, you get the Tawana Brawleys, you get the Central Park Five. Like my whole consciousness, I was in school, but I wasn't really focused on school. I was focused on Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Jawaza Kenjufu out there in Chicago.
That was right there in your backyard, Baraka.
Yeah, right. But I spent most of my time in New York. So I was in Staten Island, but I was in the village where knowledge, every corner, there was book stands selling knowledge. So the exchange of knowledge and information, and then you put the headphones on and you listening to a certain thing, right? So I say all that to say, by the time I get the friendly game of baseball, my mind, what I'm thinking, that metaphor to run baseball concurrent with police brutality in the justice system, the injustice system,
yeah.
The crime bill hasn't been written yet, ladies and gentlemen. This brother's telling us way ahead of time. We talk about the crime bill, Joe Biden, what he did, whatever. We got prophets giving us the information over beats with rhymes. And that was just like amazing to me. So much so that, like, if you listen to the Channel Live first album, Station Identification, we have a thing called Metaphorical Concepts in a Freestyle Context that was really inspired by Philly Game of Baseball, running one metaphor through a whole song.
100.
So you know what I mean? Like MC to MC, bro. Like y'all niggas, man.
Always.
I have no understanding of the impact y'all niggas had on my whole focus and consciousness. You know what I mean? So, salute, bro. Salute.
Word, definitely.
Yeah.
Salute.
So let's talk about the new stuff. Like, I know you guys are working on something. I thought initially I was gonna get some music to play, but said not yet.
We mastering right now. We getting everything mastered right now, man. We got some joints though, man. This Team Players joint. My man sent the master version of that. Team Players is crazy, man. We got this Out of Town joint, man. Yo, just everything. I don't know. It's just like full circle, man, because it's kind of like a culmination of everything. The main source, the projects we've been working on. It's like everything's come full circle, man. So it's entertaining, and we just kicking that stuff, man. Not too heavy this time, but definitely like, some stuff that's gonna rock the clubs, man. When we get off this COVID shit, man, we got like 10 faking the funks on there, like just how the beats be rocking and how it's just like, they gonna be rocking, man. They gonna love it, for real, man. Exotic, man, for real.
Yeah. What's the name of the project? Guess who is on?
That's Still on the Hustle. Yeah.
So you talk about that project, because I listened down and it's like, again, feed my hip hop soul, bro. You know what I'm saying? The lyrics, beats, the boom bap. It's that feel that we talked about earlier. It's all over that shit. Talk about that project, please. I know you got some guest appearances, some other folks on there.
Yeah, Still on the Hustle was dope, man. That was a crazy project, man. Guess Who? That's one of my favorite joints on there. Still on the Hustle is one of my favorite joints. The title track. That was a groovy motherfucking album right there.
What year did that come out?
That came out, Still on the Hustle. That came out in 2011.
11, yep.
2011.
Y'all brothers don't age at all. Y'all look the same. I cheat though. I keep my shit. I'm cheating. Hairline back here. Why you got shit? I'm like, my shit was kind of turf was loosening up. But
that was a dope joint though. Still on the Hustle. I think Lord Finesse did some production on that too.
Yeah, Lord Finesse.
You know what I mean? He did like 2 joints for me on there. That was crazy. Joint Main Event was like, that was one of my favorite joints on the album, man.
Marco Polo.
Marco Polo did some shit for me on there too. That was a real dope project, man. they all brought some dope music to the table, man. And that was beautiful. That's one of my best projects, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then after that, my next best project would be Hell Up in Queens. I did a project called Hell Up in Queens, and that was
what year was that?
That was for Hell Up in Queens. That was
18, 17, 18.
Probably like maybe about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I put that out. That was crazy. I had a joint on there with me and Bumpy Knuckles. Me and Fredro did a joint on there.
Fredro joint is crazy.
Still Faking the Funk joint. Me and Fredro did. That's incredible. Kwame produced the joint for me on there.
Salute to my brother Kwame. Salute to Fredro. No doubt.
Yeah, he did. He produced the joint with me and Bumpy did called OG Season. You know what I mean? So that's my joint. And then on the album cover, because I had my mother on the album cover. I did the same album cover as the Hell Up in Harlem movie, but the characters were me, my son, my mom, my grandmother. The artwork was crazy. That's like my best album cover. You know what I mean? Ever. You know what I'm saying? So just you gotta then of course the Lone Spitters joint. I did the Lone Spitters album, and I had my boy Poison Pen. Shout to Poison Pen.
P, what up, P?
You know what I mean? I had Planet Asia on that joint. My man Innocent. My man Kutar, the great from Buffalo. So that was another dope joint I like. It was a short EP, but it was fire. Wow. You know what I mean?
How many projects total have you put out throughout your career?
About 9 joints. Nine albums.
Damn.
And see, the thing that's beautiful, what I'm learning about, like with these joints, man, even with like the old records that I collect, man, like, these things grow in value with time, man. So, as we go on, like how I could pay, these like the older records, man, I'm paying like crazy amounts for these, man. And these records that we making now, man, they're gonna be along the same lines. Like, we be overseas, man, and the price is going up on these
the
things.
New joint is gonna be crazy, man. Extra Exotic is gonna be crazy.
Hell yeah.
Got large pro, he did the production, we got Bumpy Knuckles on the joint.
Alchemist.
Got Alchemist on the joint.
Q-Tip.
Pharaoh Monch.
Yeah, Pharaoh Monch.
And it's a well-rounded, super-ass, classic-ass project, man. And we get ready to release it. Like you said, the mastering is finishing up, and as soon as the mastering is done,
crazy.
I'm off to the race.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the real hip hop is back.
Innocent Flow. Got him on the joint too.
I know about Innocent. That's my dude right there. No doubt.
He's on the joint with me and Large on the Bumpy Knuckles joint. You know what I'm trying to
say? Yeah, man. Yeah, bro.
We got LDJs doing the scratches, Boogie Blind, DJ
Blind. Salute. My guy. Yeah.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Got my man Raw Watts on the hook, on the chorus, on the joint. You know what I mean? Shout to Raw Watts. Yeah. So the album is crazy, man. You know what I mean? It's the shit with Pharaoh, man.
The shit with Pharaoh.
Oh man. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the illest spitters ever, That's without a doubt.
Relentless. There's so much energy in that shit, man. And Alchemist gave us that crazy shit, man. And then Q-Tip, he do what he do, man.
Legends, all legends.
Yeah. And then the joints that we did, man, it's just, it's bananas, man. It's put together very, very well. We, took our time, put it together the right way.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be something special.
Yeah.
Real quick, like it's coming now type shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be really nice.
I'm totally looking forward to it. You know what I mean? I'm excited. Real hip hop is in effect. The energy off of everything that I've been listening to over the last few days is very, it just feels good. It's a good youthful energy, just with an older perspective. You know what I mean? And shit is dope. So everybody out there in Madism world, make sure y'all check for this project. Give it to them one more time so they know.
Yeah, the name of the album is called Extra Exotic. You know what I'm trying to say? We'll have more. People will know more about it within the next week or two. We'll start posting things and put the album cover up and things like that. And people, the pre-orders is up and things like that. But it's definitely it's all done. It's all, you know, it's all complete. It's just being mastered right now, and that'll be take a couple of days, and then we off to the races. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Exotic is crazy, like I said. Lost Professor produced the whole joint. We rapped on every joint. Got Carol Munch, Q-Tip, Alchemist, Bumpy Knuckles, Innocent Flow. You know, just shout to everybody that helped put together this amazing project.
And they got 10. And they got 10 Faking the Funks on there.
Yeah, it's long overdue.
They got 10 Faking the Funks.
Yeah.
All right, so okay, here we go. Extra P.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite 5 producers of all time?
Man, see, I gotta go back, man. Have to go back to Marley, like 45 King, my man Hitman Howie T, Easy Mo B. You know, like all the predecessors, man. Like, damn, man. Let me see who I would say for the 5th one. No, I put like, man, oops, it's crazy. Mind blowing, man. Like, who would you say is a crazy producer? My man Shy Skills, man. Let me stop, man.
There you go. Nah, represent the whole team. Man. You know what I'm saying? He's worth it. Exactly. Deserves that.
Throw your guns and all that.
Throw your guns. Yeah, man.
Oh, the whole album.
He just slammed. Yeah, he just slammed.
It's a big record right there.
Somewhere from the block. Like,
that's how we grew up with. So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you got a different 5, NEEK, or you gonna rock?
Yeah, I mean, I got a different 5. You know, I go with my man Large Pro.
No doubt.
I go with early Pete Rock.
With those 2, you might not need 3.
I'm trying to think fast, and I'm trying to figure, but definitely those 2. Marley Marl, I gotta say Marley
Marl. Yeah.
I gotta put Marley in there. Marley in there.
Okay.
Most of the music that we still listening to that now. Marley created a lot of hits, bangers,
Minnesota.
Peace out to Minnesota. Salute.
And my man Bink Dog.
Salute Bink Dog.
Bink is incredible. He's incredible.
Yes, he is. He got a lot of work out. They got a lot of big records.
He's a beast. You know what I mean? So I gotta give him some love. You know what I mean?
And over a long period of time, he's been able to stay consistent through different. You know, he's no doubt. Okay. All right. MCs.
Wow. MCs.
So that's coming.
My favorite, my first one would be Kumo D. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's my number 1. You know what I mean?
And I'm gonna let you know, that's really amazing considering y'all from Queens.
That's
how powerful he is. He got Queens. Salute. Okay.
Yeah, Kumo D. That's my number 1. And, you know, as far as the MC, and then I would go with LL Cool J. Not the CIA LL Cool J.
Yeah.
I go LL Cool J, Kumo D, because LL Cool J was one of the, you know, pink cookies in a plastic bag and all that shit. Like, he makes a lot of fly shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Cool G Rap. You know what I mean? You definitely got to go with Cool G Rap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nas. You know, to me personally, and I'm gonna be real. This is like a 2-way tie for me because I can't. You said 5. But KRS-One had a big impact. We used to listen to KRS-One like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He was just.
Now you ain't gotta say it just because I'm here now.
This ain't got nothing to do with you. This shit's real shit. He just was ill, straight like that. Just straight ferociousness. It's just energy was the energy, and not just what he's saying, but the energy he brought with it, the vibe, that whole shit.
Did you?
You know, that's I love that. You know what I mean? And then I would go with, you know, it ain't a New York rap or none of that shit. But I gotta give my man Snoop Dogg, man. You know, Snoop Dogg, man. You know,
I agree.
You know,
He's not my top 5, but he's enough credit.
That's my, you know what I mean? I gotta, you know what I mean?
He's definitely my top 10.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. But you know, I fucked with, you know, niggas like Corrupt, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That was my dig. The Dog Pound was my shit. You know what I'm saying? I used to fuck with the Dog Pound hard body. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I like a lot of MCs, but those are my favorite, the ones that I still listen to right now. You know what I'm trying to say? And still be mesmerized at the shit that they say and the shit that they said. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always tell people like that's how I used to listen to shit. Like, if you can make me rewind that motherfucker five times before I even play the whole song out, that was my shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Right there. That's why we do. That's where I come from, where it was about rewind of the how many times you rewind to catch the metaphors, the double entendre, how many layers you got to peel back to get the essence of what was really being said.
Yeah.
That's the real shit. All this other shit, I don't know. You know, I don't know. Pete, what's up, bro? Who's your top 5?
Man, I would definitely say G-Rap. I would say Nas. I would say Jadakiss. Rakim. And just on some honorable shit, man, I say my man DMX. You know, it always changes. It always move around on a daily basis. But that's my 5 for today, definitely. Yeah.
I'm the same way. My 5 moves around. Yeah. I'm glad you said DMX, you know, because he's a record-breaking audience. Artist. Like a record-breaking audience. He's the only artist in the history of music to have 2 platinum albums in the same year.
Listen, man, that nigga broke Garth Brooks records. You know what I'm saying? Garth Brooks, for those of y'all that don't know, he's one of the biggest country singers in the world. And DMX outsold him. You know what I'm saying? Like, took him out the #1 spot. Like, all right, Garth, put your ass back down on the country road somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Dog was coming, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was real. I met DMX in the studio with Irv Gotti. So I got a chance to meet the brother, you know what I'm saying, and spit some shit with him in the studio years ago out in Yonkers and shit like that, you know what I mean? And his music was crazy. He was nice. He was nice with it. Everything he said, he was nice with it. You know, my favorite shit is what you really want from a nigga. What you really want from a nigga. That's my motherfucking favorite joint right there. Yeah, you know what I mean? Don't let me know. You know what I'm trying to say? That's my favorite shit right there. He was kicking that shit right there.
DMX spoke for people.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
he spoke to people and he spoke for people. And though, you know, I talked about the 2 platinum albums in the same year, whatever it went the same year.
They went like 5 each. They sold like 5 each.
He still remained a person of the people. And you see these videos floating around of him just touching down with like just regular people, fans wanting to take pictures and hugs and, you know, like, and he's always like, hey, come on, of course, like you always showing love.
It's a different. He was genuine. You see, you got other cats that sold a lot of records and had success like that, right? But they ain't genuine. They let a lot of cats sell their soul. They let the industry and let others run them. So it wasn't about the money with him, and it wasn't about the big cars and the big jewelry and all that. It was just about, I'm a real nigga. This is me. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do. God bless me with this gift. I'm going to share this with the world. I'm going to enlighten y'all. I'm going to do shit my way. You know what I'm trying to say? Listen, man, everybody got demons, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go through shit. Nobody perfect. You know what I'm trying to say? It's unfortunate the way he went out. You know what I'm trying to say? Because he's a great man and a great mind. You know what I'm saying? But we all go through things, man. So I don't judge anybody. All I know is his music had a very, very big impact on not just me, but a lot of people in this world, in this big world we live in. You know what I mean? Period. You know what I'm saying? And I respected his craft and his music to the fullest.
Yeah.
Period.
Salute to DMX. Rest in peace, rest in power, no doubt.
Yeah, man. And condolences to his great family, man, and all his kids and his children, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah. Salute,
you know?
salute. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Yeah. I met Big Pun. I met Big Pun. Rest in peace, Big Pun. I met him in the tunnel, man. And when I first met him, he walked up to me and this nigga sung "Faking the Funk," my verse on "Faking the Funk" to me in my face. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I said, "Damn, he's a real fucking he's hip hop."
Yo, for
You know
real,
what I mean?
Pun was definitely hip hop to the T. He's
Yeah,
in terms of artists that showed me love. Like he showed me an extra amount of love. I'm like,
yeah, real genuine down to earth, man.
genuine and down to earth. Like, last time I saw him was at Violator. You know, walk in and he's sitting down on the couch, and of course, because of his size, he had trouble getting up.
Right.
But he tried to fucking get up for me, dude. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, like I'm looking at him. He's up here to me at this point, and he's looking at me like I'm up here to him.
Yeah,
like,
that's how you know. That's how you know genuine motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter how many records they sold, they still fans of us, man. All that record sold shit don't mean nothing. Oh my gosh, this my dudes right here. That was my shit. They show the ultimate respect, man. You know what I mean? And that's real right there. You can't buy that, man.
Yeah. You know, one of the biggest compliments I've ever received, and I'm sure y'all feel the same way, especially you, NEEK. Yo, your music helped get me through lockup.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. I've heard that a lot. Yeah, I've heard that a lot, man. That shit definitely make a nigga feel great, man. You know, like damn, man, like brothers going through whatever they're going through and they using your voice and to help them, you know, get through what they're going through, man. To make that situation more make their mind more at ease or whatever you want to call it, you know. So that's a beautiful situation, man. You know?
Yeah. Do you have songs about being locked up?
Say it again.
Do you have songs about being locked up?
No, I actually don't have any songs about being locked up. That's crazy, man. You would have thought I probably would have wrote something after all this time, but I haven't, man. That's something that I'm gonna do. I got to do it right, but that's something I got to do because I definitely want to do it. I definitely want to do it because I really want to enlighten people, man. You know what I mean? Because, you know, a lot of people used to always glorify prison, glorify jail. And even though I made it through unscathed, you know, it's definitely a place I wouldn't wish my worst enemy on. You know,
where were you?
I was in Mid-State Correctional Facility for most of my time. My first stop was Mount McGregor, top of the mountain. Shit, motherfucking bus running around the motherfucking cliff. Look like the bus gonna fall off the cliff going to the motherfucker. That's how close it is to the turns and shit up the mountain. You know what I'm saying? And you know, then from there I went to Marcy first, which is right across the street from Mid-State. Then I got kicked out of Marcy, and then I went to Mid-State and did the rest of my bid at Mid-State. Actually, Cormega had just left when I got there. You know what I mean? And I finished my bid there. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't wish that on nobody, man. And it's so many brothers. You wouldn't believe how many bright and intelligent minds are in that prison system, man. You know, how many entrepreneurs, how many CEOs, you know, are in there, man. You wouldn't believe it, man. I met so many different talented people, from basketball players to boxers, because they have a boxing program in Mid-State, to all that shit, man, to MCs, rappers, singers. I met some of the dopest in the prison system, unfortunately. You know, hopefully, you know, a lot of them got out, you know, and stayed out and was able to do use their mind, you know, on some of the positive things, man, because there's a lot of bright brothers. My man, Omar Salgado, man, shout out to him. I got to give him a shout out, man. We were incarcerated together, man, and he's out here right now doing great things, man. You know what I mean? So I definitely want to give him a shout out. He's from the BX, you know what I mean? And that's my bro, you know what I mean? And he's doing his thing, and his son is doing his thing. And smart dude. He was one of the best MCs. We got real tight, and we still tight to this day. And he's doing a lot of big things. He's actually working with Damon Dash right now and doing a lot of other things. So I would just want to shout him out, man. Because there's a lot of brothers, you know, that got a lot to bring to the table in life in general. You know, not just in rap, but in all facets of life, man. So I just wish them the best, you know, and what they're trying to do. You know, whether they, you know, the ones that's out, the ones that made it out, because there's definitely not the place to be. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely going to write something about it, because I seen so much. You know, I seen a lot of people that I knew, you know, from my neighborhood, older cats that was older than me, that that I haven't seen in years, and I'm in there and I see them in there, and you see so much. I seen niggas walking around with 1972 numbers and shit. I'm like, damn, man, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's crazy, man. You know, and it's a lot of people get institutionalized too. You know what I mean? I think brothers didn't when it was time for them to leave the prison, they didn't even want to go home. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even want to leave the prison. You know, the prison couldn't even kick them out. They had to wait till they maxed out to get rid of these motherfuckers. You know what I'm trying to say? Like literally kick them out of prison and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a real sad situation, man, and we got to be better. You know, we got to start helping each other and enlightening each other and really taking, you know, especially with the youth, man, because a lot of them think, you know, they doing a lot of shit that now that we did years ago. We done been there and done that shit. So, you know, when we kicking it to them now, it ain't about preaching it to them, but it's about letting them know, listen, man, it's only one way this is going to turn out. I'm going to tell you the way, and now it's on you. But I'm telling you, it ain't going to be the way you think it's going to turn out. So we got to start enlightening these kids, man, just keep them out that system. You know what I mean? And those of us that still got that youth in us, you know what I mean? We got to let them know, listen, man, I ain't staying this young by being dumb, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still here for a reason. So take heed, you know what I mean? I got a son. My son is 19 years old. You know what I mean? He live in Brooklyn in Flatbush. You know, so I got to make sure I keep him grounded, you know what I'm saying? And let him know what time it is and let him know, be grateful you got a dad that's know what time it is. You know what I'm trying to say?
That's real. That's real. So I want to salute Large Professor for coming out to Jersey and participating in 24 Hours of Peace.
Yes, absolutely. I remember that. That was nice. Young Google was out there. Yeah, that was nice.
So, you know, for people who don't know, 24 Hours of Peace is an annual event that I produce. My company produced 24 Hours of Peace. That's the name of the company. We produced this event. It's a 24-hour peace concert festival.
That's in Newark?
In Newark, New Jersey, where we push peace, love, unity, safely having fun, which is the core ethos to hip-hop culture. And, you know, I reached out to Large Professor, and he was like, without a doubt, I'm out there. I'm coming. He came out.
Yeah, that was fun, man. That was fun.
She was dope. And you know, it's like that type of work, you know, that you speak of, NEEK, you know, coming out of the prison system, you know, like you speak to that type of work. So to see that, you know, P, you already involved, you doing it, NEEK, you doing it from real life experience. That's the shit that's really needed, you know, and that happens so much that people they think it's just music, you know, and again, it comes down to the culture of it, you know what I mean? Right. So if you guys want to speak more to that, as we wind this down, because I don't want to hold you guys too long, even though I could stay on for a minute now, because with y'all, I can get all the content I can, because
we always love the music, man. The music is what, you know, they say music soothes the savage beast, man. So once we get around the music, you know, that's why when you like, yo, doing some music out there, man, like, and that was such a peaceful event, man. Everybody was chilling, you know, we was all chilling, man. And yeah, that's what it's about, man. Like, taking people's minds off of doing dumb shit, man. And it's like, yo, you know, and then you never know who gets that creative spark. And they say, yo, because I was one of them, you know, I got caught up early in the game. I was in group home type shit, but you know, somebody came to me like, yo, you ain't got to be getting in trouble. You could take that and do music and express yourself. That's how Looking at the Front Door and all of these things came about, is from that spark. Like, yo, you ain't got to be out here getting in trouble. You could express yourself through music, like DMX. You know what I'm saying? He, you know, so all of us kind of got that trauma and that, like, coming up under this American way and shit like that. So it's like, yo, you know, let's get out here and do something positive with it, and then you start seeing the stars bloom and shit. It's like, damn, I didn't know you was talented like that and shit. You was out here bullshitting around, getting in trouble, and you really talented. Like,
sometimes you got to create your own foundation. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't have that foundation. See, when I came home, you know, my mom was a strong woman, so I had something. I had a strong woman to, you know, to come home to, my mom's. You know what I mean? So it for me, it was a little different. You know, now, you know, you got a lot of cats that was in there that, you know, they was coming home, they was going straight to a shelter or something like that. They wasn't going home to family. So life was different in that aspect. You know what I'm trying to say? So, you know, it takes a strong person, it takes a strong mind. You know what I mean? So we all need that. You know what I'm trying to say, to get through. You know what I mean? So the music always helps get through things, man. It helps you see things because it's a lot of cats that spit a lot of lyrics that make you think, make you see things in a different light. You just gotta listen. I'm trying to say that's it. Anything is possible as long as you can put your mind to that shit and really just give it your go. Just let that shit go. Just go, man. Regardless, see, when you do something, you don't do it because you love it, not for what's gonna come behind it. I'm just doing it because I love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we gotta we gotta approach that at the same way, man. Keep each other grounded.
Yeah. To that point, I told her when we fell off, and I had to do other things, I was walking around kind of depressed in a cloud. Right. And I found myself around 2008, started doing music again more consistently, just recording stuff, just recording for the love. For the love. Wasn't no deal. I wasn't trying to get, no one checking for me. I was just doing it just so I could hear myself and playing for people to get a reaction from the people. And then that's how this shit grew. And even 24 hours a piece, when we created 24 hours a piece, there was literally, we did it out of pocket. There was no budget. There was the Raz wasn't the mayor. So for 4 years, we had to just make it happen with the resources we had. And thanks to people like Large Professor and a slew of other people, Naughty by Nature, Lords of the Underground, Savion Glover. We was able to just pull it off just to make it happen. Master Ace, DOS Effects, mad people who just came out because we needed 24 hours a piece in North New Jersey. And now as a result of that and the many other things that mayor has done, Newark has one of the lower crime rates in the country in terms of large cities. The crime rate in Newark is lower than it's been since the 60s. It used to be top 5, so it's that active approach to things. Even with the music, remember back in the day, everybody had to have a conscious record. No matter what else you were saying, you had to be intentional about having a conscious record on your shit. How do we get back to that where we can have fun, but in balance, I'm going to show you I got something else on my mind.
No question. And you know what? And this new album that is Extra Exotic, you're going to hear some of that in it.
Shit.
I mean, it's fun and all that, but we also dropping shit that's going to make you think too, oh, shit.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? And keep you grooving at the same time, but make you rewind it back to that part. You know what I'm trying to say? So,
all right. So that said, can you spit something? Come on now.
Born in Queens, raised around kings, trying to break the cycle, live out my dreams, crazy as it seems, weigh it, triple beams. Niggas that's full of schemes don't understand what it means. It's time to build the team so we can build the castle. Fuck being hassled like them little rascals. Pawns in the game, take a pause in the game. Use a quarter of your brain, you can see it still same. Not trying to be deep, but the slope too steep. How we gonna teach walking kids on the leash? Man, shit crazy like Candyland. Burn it down like motherfucking hammer pants. Strong on stance, mop you niggas like Billy dancing. Fuck that Millie dancing. Niggas pull up your pants. Time to take a stance to bullshit. Keep fucking around, motherfuckers get pulled quick. And a lot done changed in this fucked up game. Only strong remain. That's the price of fame. To make it sweeter than cane, to make it harder to gain. Crazy, man.
Jules.
Yeah. Jules.
Thank you, sir. Man. So what's up, P? You got 16 or you just chilling?
Man, that's the man right there.
That's right there. So I'm listening. I know you got bars for days, and it would just be my honor. But I got you. I had to try. Crazy Arcade. I had to try to get him.
NEEK is dropping the jewels. I'm just kind of spitting rhymes on my joints. So you know what I mean? But that's one of the jewel joints right there. Word. Yeah, man, definitely, man. We got them, man. We got them.
I have a joint called Jewelry. Can I spill a little something for a second?
Yeah, hell yeah.
If pimping ain't easy, what the fuck is revolution? Rappers be spitting straight noise pollution. Here's a clean glass of water. I show you how to eat to live. What goes around comes. Let me show you how to give. There's something that you hear when the nine is at your rib. In the street, tuck your jewels. Thugs drool like baby bibs. I'm trying to be mindful, write something for the kids. Talking like I walk it, rap it how I live. I came up blue collar, strive to be a scholar, but I couldn't eat the love and nearly starve without the dollar. The pressure and the stress is enough to make you holler when the landlord's at your doorstep and the devil's at your collar. They call me a slacker because I won't sell crack for the cracker. I call women queens and I love the berry blacker. Some chicks get it twisted. They'd rather be called bitches with their ass in the air like everybody's supposed to kiss it. It's a simple lesson. You get what you deserve. Is life a bitch or just a pimp with a perm? See, a mommy tricked out, made a little heartburn, but it's something she'll forget when it's time to take her turn. When will the children learn? It's much better to earn, but when my niggas put in work, they like to make the metal burn. End up in the system, it's all systematic. Manchurian candidates, waving automatics. A product of a project launched in the 80s. Chemical warfare meant to kill the crack babies. Now as the world turns, is it just a story? Because keeping it real got my sons in purgatory. That's jewelry.
Nice.
Yo, salute.
Salute, man. It's just a pleasure and an honor to be in the company of real fucking hip hop, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? I named this show Exceptionalism. Now, Madism, of course, is about the weed, but at Madism we talk about all the isms: racism, sexism, fascism, socialism, capitalism. You know what I mean? Exceptionalism. Because these two right here are exceptional icons in hip hop culture. That's why this is called Exceptionalism. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Madism. Large Professor, Extra P, Unique, the Exotic. Twin fingers trying to fuck, they get smoked like blunts. Mirage gonna take like get your word up. I heard you making the fuck, nigga. Yo, it's an honor to have you on the Madism platform, brothers. Can y'all give a shout out to that album one more time so people know where to get it so they can be on point?
Listen, man, all y'all got to do is follow me on Instagram, NEEK the Exotic on Instagram, NEEK the Exotic on Twitter, NEEK the Exotic on Facebook. Please follow me, man, so I can y'all can see within the next week, man. I'm gonna put up the pre-order links, man, so y'all know when the project is gonna be out, but it'll be out real soon. And what I mean by real soon, I mean real soon. And be ready for it. Extra Exotic is going to be a very dope project. I ain't really got to say too much, man. We put a lot of work in it, and y'all going to appreciate it and love that shit. Believe me.
I already know what it is, bro. I know it's going to be fire. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all support that project. Extra P, last words right fast?
Yo, salute to you, man. Definitely, man. Yo, for all the work, man, all the years, man. Respect.
Respect to you. That's real shit. You always been the same. Me and you always been the same. You always
ain't no need to change. Ain't no need to change, bro.
No change, man. All we doing is putting better people, man.
Yeah,
so
salute.
It's great, man. It's an honor to be on your platform, man. Thank you for having us, man.
Oh, my man, it's a pleasure. Crazy Al Kane, Tasha, who's that? Pupinderji Marshandi. Yo, I just butchered your name. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're a part of the show. Everybody else that tuned in, Mr. Johnson, Vaughn, cousin Willie, what up, brother? Sean, everybody that checked in, Keith, Imperial Bronzeman. I like to shout everybody out. They got to be.
I appreciate that.
Movement. Barlow, 2 L's up. No doubt. Yo, this is Madism TV. We out. Peace. Salute.
Salute.